Alright everyone, I just wanted to put out a little bit of an alert video here. Hurricane Beryl did manage to become a hurricane again when it slammed into southern Texas the other day. And several subscribers are like, oh yeah, we're without power and things are flooding and everything's all fucked up. It looks like this storm may have just enough muster to maintain just enough of its power so that when it rolls into the northeastern part of the United States, it causes havoc. As I explained the other day, a mountainous region and a flat region don't react the same to a hurricane. If you're away from the coast, so you don't have storm surge, the high winds you're going to have anyway, so, I mean, that's less of a problem potentially in the mountains, unless you've got a lot of trees around. I come from Vermont. It's a 92% forested land. When rain falls at a significant level, in an area where there's a lot of mountains, especially that many mountains, it funnels down and it causes more damage. It could maintain high winds, by the way, for a significant period of time. My advice to anyone roughly in the storm path, and it's going to become more clear over time, at least for the continental United States, is to prepare now. I would have water on hand. I would make sure that I've got extra batteries for the flashlight. I would make sure that I have something to heat and something to cool, potentially, that doesn't require electricity. And some food would probably be a good idea. You know, man does not live by bread alone, right? So maybe have some food on hand that doesn't need to be refrigerated or frozen. Something shelf stable. You know, at the very least, you can make a fire and cook a can of beans. We had to do that during, I think there was a polar storm that came down. It was 2014 or thereabouts. Again, knocked out power for 3 or 4 days intermittently. It was off for almost 48 hours. Came back on for just long enough to run some water. And my mom took a shower, of course, because she was waiting for that. Then it went off again. And it went on again in the middle of the night. It went off again, and then finally it was more or less restored. In a terrible ice storm. But you should be prepared for these sorts of things. Anywhere in the world that you are, you can end up with a natural disaster. You can end up with a drought. You can end up with a fucking famine. You can have a disease outbreak, anything like that. More often it's weather related, so tornado, hurricane activity, something like that. You should always have some supplies on hand, like, for instance, I am worried that Beryl is going to do significant damage in New England, because it looks like it's right in the crosshairs of that track. And based on the fact that it re-strengthened, it might still be a tropical depression by the time it gets there. That's what Irene did. And that was a lot of damage. I'm thankful knowing that I have crate after crate of MREs back in the States. So, in my absence, because I'm here in the Netherlands, where you don't get as many natural disasters, although a dike could break any given moment, flood half the country, you know, it could be a problem. Thankfully, they're pretty good engineers here in the Netherlands. They'd have to restart the windmills. Oh shit. Now, quick, get that rigging up. It's not just for tourists to appreciate anymore. I'm thankful knowing that there's a bunch of prepping material back home. There's fire starters, and there's food, MREs and stuff. I mean, are they tasty? Some of them, other than the white chicken chunks. But you can survive on them for at least a reasonable period of time. You just don't want to eat too many of them. They are extremely high calorie and they will brick you up. Canned food and shit like that. Having things that can provide light. Having flashlights. Got some of those from the Bellotta collection from Ozzy, actually. Flashlights, candles, things like that. Might want a lighter, you know. Sometimes matches don't work properly. By the way, the ones manufactured in Sweden that they sell in this country are jack shit. I don't understand why people actually use them. Half the time when you strike the match, the head pops off and it never lights. Half the time it just wears itself out and never lights. And it's like one out of 5 of the matches actually works, and supposedly they're weatherproof and everything else, but I don't know. I don't 100% get them. Have some matches and stuff. Now let's say you don't have the ability to cook on wood or charcoal or something like that. You know, you have a deck, you have an apartment. Well, that's perfectly fine. You can go outside. Go to a local wooded area, like a transient, and set up your camp stove or something like that. It is generally legal to do so. Local laws may apply, of course. I don't think this hurricane is going to be a joke based on the damage in Texas, based on the devastation in the Caribbean, in Jamaica and some of these other islands. There was a significant amount of damage. I have a feeling that its strength is abnormally high, and that it's going to hold itself together. I mean, I'm hoping this isn't the case. What I'm hoping is it dissipates into just a bunch of thunderstorms and shit like that. Okay, you get some gusty winds, a few limbs come down, you get a bit of rain, but it's nothing you can't deal with. That would be good. The problem is that I'm seeing signs that it might not do that. So if I was in the New England area or the Catskills or something like that, I would have a few extra supplies on hand. Of course, it's still a couple of days out from you. I think that would be a good idea. I'm going to be advising my family later on this as well. Like, hey, if you do need to dip into the MREs, that's okay. I know that I enjoy eating them, but you can have a couple of them. That's about all. Peace out.